The item in today's video was provided free of charge for the purpose of review. My comments and opinions are my own and have not been swayed in any way in exchange for compensation. At home, I charge my Rivian using the Tesla J1772 wall connector. But I do have a couple of wall connectors for other Teslas that, well, I don't own anymore. This one charges my red Tesla, which is currently gone, but the other one was used with my Model X and my other Model Y, and now it just kind of sits here. It doesn't actually charge anything. Hasn't been used in months. And although the Tesla J1772 wall connector is about the same length, I have an extension, which is now dirty and wet, it looks like. But anyway, that goes over to where I park my Rivian and plug it in. But before I did that, I used these, and this one's kept outside. It's a little dirty. This is the Electron J1772 Tesla adapter. So it converts Tesla into J1772. And these are about $150, $160, depending on what day you get them. And they only work at 48 amp, which it works for what I need. I keep one here just in case I need it, and I keep one in the frunk. But today, we're gonna talk about a different adapter. Now, forgive me because I couldn't pronounce that if I had to. Maybe it's upside down. I don't even know. This is basically the same thing, but it is a new company that is on Amazon. Link in the description for the Amazon link. Here you go. Here's your website. But as you can see, 80 amp. Now, my truck isn't 80 amp and my wall connectors aren't 80 amp, but to have this in your truck in case you go to a hotel with a Gen 2 wall connector that is 80 amp, this could be useful. You could pull, well, not with this, but with, say, the Ford Lightning, you could pull 80 amp and charge your vehicle. There's a few on the market today that support 80 amp, and I think it's going to come back because you get these trucks with these big batteries. This one's 135 kilowatt hour. You can get it spec'd with a 180 kilowatt hour battery pack. And you got like the Hummer EV, I think it's a 200 kilowatt hour battery pack. These big batteries are going to need a lot of power. And yeah, so 250 volt, 80 amp. The biggest thing about this one is that it was $80. Now, the company sent this one to me for free for testing, but it's $80. Compared to double the price for a 48 amp Electron, sure, you're getting name brand. Electron's a pretty well-known name brand. But this, it feels pretty solid. I don't really notice any issues. It still has the latch that latches your wall connector in. So we're going to plug this in and just test it. My Rivian is about 50% right now, somewhere in that range. And I've got the charge limit set to 85. So it's going to gain somewhere between 40 and 45 kilowatt hour. I know that's not amazing or, crazy, and it's not even at 80 amp. But, if it can pull the basic needs, then I don't see what the issue is. Plus, having it in your truck to have that 80 amp, that's a huge thing for me. I don't have a Lightning, but if I had a Lightning, this is the one that I would buy. I wouldn't buy the Electron because I don't want to be limited to 48 amp. I want to have the full capability of 80 amp. And heck, for half the price, why wouldn't you buy this one and just carry it with your Rivian? Sure, you're not going to pull 80 amp, but who cares? It's half the price of the Electron. So let's give it a try. Let's also, while we're here, so you can kind of see they both have a little red ring seal inside. This top one is the Electron. They look pretty much the same as far as the connector goes. Sure, the Electron's used a little. I don't see anything different here. The little latch on the bottom, this one on the new connector may be a little easier to use actually. It just seems easier to push. Whereas I remember this one being a pain. It is a lot harder to lift that, whereas this one is just very easy. All right, well, let's plug it in and we'll test out the new connector. I'm going to leave the Nivion charging for a couple hours, gain my 40 or 45 kilowatt hour, and we'll come back and just look and see if we had any kind of voltage drop, kilowatt hour drop. I mean, I have a pretty solid system here, 60 amp, but it is power sharing. There's nothing else plugged in, so we shouldn't drop below 11 kilowatt at any point in time. So let's give it a try. The Tesla handle went in pretty easy. I did push the button in order to push it in, but it doesn't come back out. Kind of hard to show you that with one hand, but it is locked in without pushing that button. So we'll just plug it in now. You got this big light here. This is a Nivion thing. You can't really see where it goes. You have to get down here at it. The light blinds you. So this is normal for Tesla wall connectors. The wall connector uses a different standard of communication. It takes a few seconds, and then as you see, it clicks right on. We got the green bar for charging. The charge port's green. Let's clean up a little bit. We'll go in and see what our current charge rate is. All right, so 55%, so about 40 kilowatt hours, what I expect. We're getting 21 miles per hour, which is 11 kilowatt. And then we can see up here, same thing, 11 kilowatt. Doesn't show me amps. I know there's a way to do it, I just don't know how. This tells you like where your energy goes, so I've gained 0.2 kilowatt hour so far. And it's all went to the battery pack. I feel like there's a way, I can't remember now. Oh, right here, 48 amp. I mean, this is a limit, but it will tell you if it drops below that, so. Okay. We're gonna let it charge here. I mean, currently pulling 11, no issues, so I'm gonna let it charge, and I'm gonna watch it in the Nivion app. I've already gained 1%. Of course, I must have been at the high end of 55. Let it charge. I'm gonna watch it in the Nivion app. I also have a wall connector app that I'll make a video about, and just make sure that there's no voltage drop, no drop in charge rate, and we'll check it when it's done. Here, and I just wanted to make a quick look at the Nivion charging screen on the app. You can see that we've already added 2 miles to our range. We've got about 4 hours remaining. Now, I am sitting in the truck with air running right now to work on this video, so that may drop when I get out. 11 kilowatt, and as you can see, it ramped up like normal, and it is currently holding like normal. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll also check the wall connector app, which is here, and it will show, you know, I did notice, I've made my other video right quick to show this app because I like it, but this one, it does say charging at reduced power, and I don't know why it says that because it's pulling 11.2. It does have a good voltage. It's not pulling the full amperage of 48. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I think it's just what this app is showing. I've never tested this app on a Tesla. This is the first time I've ever actually used the app. So it is pulling 11.17 and it's bouncing kilowatt. It maxes out 11.5. I'd say anything 11 or more is normal. So it says reduced power. I don't think it's actually reduced power. But I did want to point out, I thought it was kind of cool, the app shows, well, we'll let it go to 2 kilowatt hour, 2. Okay. The app shows 2 kilowatt hour. The truck is now showing 1.9. So it is already 1 kilowatt hour off, which I understand there are losses. That happens. So I just thought it was cool to see, you know, the difference of what the charger has provided versus what the truck has received. It's also tracking temperatures, which is pretty cool, and those temperatures are rising. So anyway, just a little check-in. We're going to let this charge for, I think it said 4 hours. I'll get out and we'll see if it goes down, and we'll check back in a little bit. Just to follow up here, we are up to 57% now, and it has dropped to 3 hours 13 minutes. You can see timestamps at the top left. I don't remember what time I shot that video versus now, but it hasn't been an hour, so it did definitely drop. It's predicted. We did have a slight voltage drop there by 1 kilowatt, but it went right back up. That's pretty normal. I don't think that has anything to do with the adapter itself, but we'll continue to monitor. 3.6 kilowatt hour. Like I say, I think we're going to be about 40 by the time we're done here. So we'll see where it goes. So as expected, it did finish charging. We didn't have any kind of voltage drops or, stop charging or anything like that. We did get quite hot. The charge handle got to 113 and the wall connector got to 150 Fahrenheit, which I think is pretty normal for electronics. They get hot, and we got a solid green, meaning we are done. But that's exactly what I expected to happen. I expected this to work just fine. Actually, I can still feel it's pretty warm. I expected this to work just fine. This is not hot. The Tesla handle is hot. This piece right here is warm. But these are all standard to be expected. It worked. It did exactly what I expected it to do. No issues, no problems. So yeah, what more can you say? Did a great job. Let's go in the truck. Just lay it here for now. Let's go in the truck and just see what the totals came out to. Session summary, 39.1. I'll post a screenshot here of what the wall connector thinks that it charged. But overall, it did exactly what I expected. And for half the cost of the Electron adapter, well worth it in my opinion. Now I'll continue long-term testing this. I'm going to carry it with me in my truck, and if I find a hotel or something that I go to that I need to plug in with, I'll use it just to make sure. I've got the Electron one with me as well, just because that's what I always used to carry. But I'll test this new one out, and if I have any kind of long-term issues or whatever, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But for now, it does exactly as intended, so I don't see why you wouldn't save half the cost and get this one versus the Electron one. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys later.